Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtapraya Shabadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 58. Krishna marries 5 princesses. Keep 37 number verse. Yat Pada Pankaja Rajaha Shirasa Bibarti Shrihi Abjajaha Sa Girisaha Saha Loka Palaihi Leela Tanuhu Swa Krita Setu Paripshaya Yaha Kale Adadat Saha Bhagavan Mama Kena Tushet Yatpada Pankaja Raja Shirasa Bhibarti Shrirabjaja Sagirishaha Sahalokapalai Leela Tanu Swakrita Setu Paripsayaya Kale Dadatsa Bhagavan Mama Kena Tushe Yatpada Pankaja Raja Shirasa Bhibarti Shrirabjaja Sagirishaha Sahalokapalai Leela Tanu Swakrita Setu Paripshayaya Kale Dadatsa Bhagavan Mama Kena Tushe. Please chant. Matajis. Yatpada pankaja raja sirasa bibharti. Yat, whose, pada, of the feet, pankaja, lotus-like, rajaha, the dust, shirasa, on her head, bibharti, holds, shrihi, the goddess of fortune, abjajaha, Lord Brahma, who was born from a lotus flower, sa, together with, giri, saha, Lord Shiva, the master of Mount Kailasha, saha, together with, loka, of the planets, palaihi, the various rulers, leela, as his pastime, tanuhu, a body, swa, by himself, krita, created, setu, the courts of religion, paripshaya, with the desire to protect, yaha, who, kale, in course of time, adadat, has assumed, saha, he, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, mama, with me, kena, on account of what, tushe, may be pleased. Translation: Goddess Lakshmi, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the rulers of the various planets place the dust of his lotus feet on their heads, and to protect the courts of religion which he has created, he assumes pastime incarnations at various times. How may that Supreme Personality of Godhead become pleased with me? I will read the purport by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Princess Satya prayed, how can I please that personality of who appears in various transcendental forms within the world whenever there is a necessity of upholding the principles of religion? He is now present before me in his original spiritual form. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Rupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamalini Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Yonta Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prashuptam Sanjivite Klishakti Swadhamna Anyanstahastacharna Shravanat Tvagadivi Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna. So today the topic is Krishna marries 5 princes. It is mentioned in the scriptures that Lord Ramchandra is Ekapatni Vrat. Lord Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari. Right? 2 weeks back, Mukund Madhav Prabhu narrated this pastime briefly. I will narrate in a little with more connection with this. Once Lord Krishna, dressed very beautifully and very beautiful garlands and nicely decorated with peacock feathers. So, accompanied by his friends, he reached the shore of Yamuna. There, Srimad Radharani, accompanied by all her Sakhis, they have camped there. And then they have cooked various food substances because Durvas Muni sent a message that he was camping on other side of the Yamuna. Please send some prasadam. So they cooked various items and they have gathered there. So there, that time Yamuna was in floods, very in a Bhayankar Roop, she was flowing. So they were all wondering how to cross this Yamuna river. Then Krishna came, said, "Oh my dear Prana Sakhi, what are you all doing? Why you are waiting here?" Then Vishaka replied that she also looks like Srimati Radharani. So she said, yeah, what to do? We are actually taking prasadam for Durvas Muni, but we are wondering how to cross this Yamuna. Right? Then Krishna jokingly said, so I heard that you are all very chaste women of Vraj. Right? You are all chaste women of Vraj. Why don't you use your austerity of the chastity and then ask Yamuna Devi to cross, to give a way? Like that. Then Tungavidya Devi, she replied, saying that, my dear Pranasakha, what you are saying is correct. Then, because when Krishna complimented that you are all very chaste women of Vraj, they are all very, very happy, feeling, very nice. Krishna is complimenting us. What to do? We cannot cross we cannot use our tapashakti, or the strength of our austerities, because it is said in the scripture, all our austerities, vrata, phala and all, they belong to our husbands. So we cannot use this now. So we heard that, why don't you give some part of your austerity? She was joking actually. We heard that you can actually, by taking shelter of your lotus feet, one can cross the ocean of material existence. What to speak of a small Yamuna? So the small river Yamuna, like that. Like there is a riddle, so पानी पानी को सुखा दिया. Anybody knows riddle? Huh? पानी पानी को सुखा दिया. Pani usually get evaporated by heat, right? But it is said, पानी पानी को सुखा दिया. Water has evaporated water. How? You remember? Tell. By taking bath in Yamuna, Yamuna water actually can evaporate Bhavajaladi. You understand? पानी को सुखा दिया. कैसा? By simply taking bath in Yamuna, one can cross over the. So Bhavajaladi को evaporate कर देगा, सुखा देगा यमुना जल. इसलिए जल को सुखा दिया. Right? So this is a riddle given in Vishnu Puran. So it is mentioned. Then Krishna, when Krishna said, then when they were complimenting Krishna that you are also a very austere person, why didn't you give some, the gopis said, why didn't you give part of your little austerity? Like that. Then Krishna said, what you said is correct. There are many people who by taking shelter of my lotus feet, they can cross over, material existence. What to speak of this Yamuna? Like that. So then all the gopis, headed by Srimad Radharani, Vishaka and all, they started laughing. Said, we are simply joking and you thought, it is true. What is this? Then Bhattu, Madhumangal, he said, he did not like, Krishna being joked upon. Then he said, what you are saying, what you said is correct. What Krishna said is correct. Well, just atomic particle of Krishna's austerity of celibacy, can help you to cross over Yamuna. Then now Lalita Devi started laughing, and then they all, so Krishna became a little bit, his face became red. He felt insulted. He said, you are all insulting me. But the very personality Durvasa Muni, he told in Gopaltapani Upanishad that Krishna Nitya Brahmachari. Yeah, Krishna Nitya Brahmachari. Why didn't you test the words of Shastra? Right? Why didn't you test? You just do Achaman and tell the Yamuna that please, O Yamuna Devi, please give us a path by the strength of the austerity of Krishna's Brahmacharya. Right? Krishna's Brahmacharya. Then Srimad Radharani, she was watching all these things. She did not like Krishna being joked upon. Then with her beautiful lotus hands, very beautifully, to the amazement of Shri Krishna himself, she sat down on the bank of Yamuna and then she took with her beautiful hands water. Then she did, chanting Achaman mantras. Then she did it so beautifully that Krishna became mesmerized. Wow, like that. Then she said, my dear Yamuna Devi, we want to cross over Yamuna. Please give us the path by the strength of Krishna's austerity of Brahmacharya. Then to their amazement, Yamuna gave path. Not only that, if you see Yamuna, suppose rivers and all, if they get dried up, so many stones and pebbles, and it's very difficult to walk on the dried out river bed, very difficult. And then so many dead animals, aquatics and all that. But Yamuna arranged a very beautiful path with soft sand bed and all that. And then they all crossed. Anyway, that is so Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari. Now we are seeing in this chapter that Krishna is going to marry, 5 princes now. Previously he is already married. How many? Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama, Jambavati. He is already married thrice. Right? Then Prabhupada, so people think that Krishna is lusty. How he married, 16,108 wives. Like that. My father had a big problem, me becoming brahmachari. So he was saying that your spiritual master Prabhupada is married. He wanted to marry one more time. Then your Lord Krishna married 16,000 times, 108 times. Why are they asking you to practice brahmacharya? Why didn't you get married? Like that. He was very upset. Like that, Krishna now, actually, when Prabhupada was asked by Yashamati Nandan Prabhu, Prabhupada, why didn't you translate Ramayana? Then Prabhupada replied, what is there in Ramayana? Even if God comes and gets married, he will have problem in this material world. Married life means trouble. And then the same thing was mentioned in 5th canto Bhagavatam, Jambudvipa prayers by next chapter, description of Jambudvipa or something like that. Sun planet, something like that. So, here it is mentioned that Ramchandra had to go through a lot of trouble, because he is married. It is okay, but why he has to take wife to the forest? One like that. Anyway, so many people they question, oh, Krishna is married, so he's so lusty, 16,108 wives, but it is Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari. Right? Why he married? I will explain. Not only that, Prabhupada said, like Prabhupada once somebody was commenting that in Ramayana they extrapolate and say that Rama ate meat. Then Prabhupada said he might have eaten meat, or what to speak of eating meat, he can eat the whole world. But he is telling you not to eat. Right? He's telling you not to eat. Like that, Krishna can marry. Prabhupada said, 16,000, what 16,000? He can marry 16 million. He can marry 16 crores. Because he is a Lord of opulence. Right? Prabhupada says, nowadays, Prabhupada was surprised that in America, he was speaking to one lady, said, is your son married? She said, no. Said, why? Because he doesn't have a proper job. He cannot maintain his wife. Prabhupada was surprised. Oh, in our India, even rickshaw pullers, they get married at a proper age. They can maintain, right? Like that. That is why, all of you brahmacharis, some of you brahmacharis, if they want to get married, so one thing is required, that is finance. No romance without finance. Right? Like that, you should be very careful. Once, one wife was telling, husband is like honey when he gives money. Right? Then a husband said, wife is cute when she is mute. Like that, very difficult to maintain the wives. But Krishna is, he is capable. Right? He is capable of like that. Why is getting married? So many, like that. Lord Ramchandra is known as Pumsham Mohana Rupaya. Pumsham Mohana Rupaya means every living entity, including women, men, snakes, scorpions, all living entities, they would become attracted to the beauty. Even the trees, because it's so beautiful. Even men also, they would become attracted to Ramchandra. Like that. So everywhere he was going, what to speak of these regular people, even his enemies also. Ah, so beautiful. Kya saundarya. Right? Karadushana, when Ramchandra came to fight with Karadushana, Khara is the leader. When he saw Lord Ramchandra, he became so attracted. Then he became said, hey, my dear Ram, you do one thing, I don't want to kill you. Because, we are so many, but you are looking so beautiful. Right? So you just don't fight. I will give you, shelter. I will put you in my palace. And then every day, every moment, I will look at you. Rascal, I will show you. So like that, even Kara also became very attracted to the beauty of Lord Ramchandra. So everywhere he would go, everybody says, I want to have conjugal relation with you. Conjugal relation with you. All the Apsaras also, when they saw Ramchandra of, the women in heavenly planets, they are, we want to leave this heavenly planet. We want to have conjugal relation with you. Then all the sages who are worshipping in the Dandakaranya forest, they saw Lord Ramchandra. Then they said, Hare, we want to have conjugal relationship with you. Like that, everybody became attracted to Pumsha Mohan Rupaya. Then Ramchandra said, you know, when Ramchandra went to Mithila Nagar, he had doubts whether they will give their daughter to him, because his father is notorious for marrying so many times, 350, 350 wives or something like that, right? I was giving class, somebody was asking, Prabhuji, we know Kaushalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. What are the names of other queens? I said, होगा कुछ मोहिनी गिमिनी है ना, so हमको क्या जरूरत है, right? So that is why Vishwamitra Muni, when he was introducing Lord Ramchandra to Janak Maharaj, he said, he is the son of Dashrad Maharaj, but he is only for namesake. But he was raised by Vasishtha Muni. Because he was, Acharya's comment, he is saying that Vasishtha Muni married only once. Like that. So when Parshuram came and he told Ramchandra, okay, I heard that you broke the Shiva Dhanush. Let me see, can you hold this Vishnu Dhanush? Then Sita ji started crying, it seems. You know why? She was very scared that because he broke Shiva Dhanush, he got married to me. Now he is going to break Vishnu Dhanush also. Then he will say, marry some other girl. So he did not want a Southern, Then Ramchandra said, don't worry. So to the pleasure of all the inhabitants of Mithila Nagar, Ramchandra took a vow that I will remain, I will attach to only one single wife. I will not marry again. Right? Ekapatni Vrat. But Krishna did not. Then Ramchandra, so he has to fulfill the desire of all these ladies, and then all the living entities who wanted to have conjugal relationship with Ramchandra. Ramchandra, many tasks he left behind for accomplishing in Krishna's appearance, right? So then he said, in my next incarnation, in my next appearance as Lord Krishna, I will fulfill all your desires. Right? So that is why Prabhupada writes in first canto Bhagavatam, so Anyonyam Asit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasa Kauravendra Purastrinam Sarvashruti Manoharam. So when the Krishna is walking by on the streets of Hastinapur, all the ladies of Hastinapur, they assembled on the terraces of their palaces. So when Krishna was walking by, they were speaking about Krishna. Anyonyam Asit Sanjalpa. Among themselves they are speaking all the glories of Krishna. Right? Then Sarvashruti Manoharam. Krishna liked it so much, he thought it is better than all these Shrutis, Shruti Vakyas, Om Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Like that, they sing very beautifully. The South Indian Brahmanas, they so melodiously they sing these Purusha Shukta prayers. You like it so much. But Krishna liked the ladies talking among themselves about himself, about him. They liked it better than, he liked it better than the, like that. So he is saying that they are saying, Aho, Aho alam shlagyatamam yador kulam, Aho alam punyatamam madorvanam, Ya yad pumsha rishabha shriyah patim, swajanmana sankramana chanchati. So they are saying, oh, the same personality of Godhead, how glorious, Yadukul has become, because Krishna, the Lord has appeared in their kula. How glorious this Madhuvan, Mathura and Dwaraka have become, because of Krishna, he is the master of all living entities. Yada Pumsha, Rishabha, Shriyapatim, and then he is the Lord of Lakshmi. He has taken birth on this land. Then in his childhood, he went all around. You know, Prabhupada writes in third canto Bhagavatam, remember this. You know, even now, many devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness, you know, the land extending up to Bharatpur, you know, Bharatpur and the path going to the Delhi, there is so glorious. They all the devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness, they search for Krishna in these places. Even though they may not find Krishna immediately, but the search itself is perfect. Right? So we should, when we go to Vrindavan, Dwarka or Mathura, we should search for Krishna. Mighty Krishna, please show your wonderful pastime. So little bit glimpse of your wonderful, you know, form. Just enough, you know, for us. One glimpse of Krishna's pastime. One Baba came to Prabhupada. Oh, he was mentioning, your Krishna Balram, they are very naughty. I have seen them playing in Ramandreti. Our Krishna Balram, they are playing in Ramandreti. Like that, Krishna and Balram, even now they play in the Ramandreti. Like that. So, Aho Bata Swar Yashash Tiraskari. They are speaking. Kushastali Punya Yasho Bhuvaha. You know, Pashanti Nityam Anugrahe Istitam Smitavaloka Swapatisma Yah Jana. Saying, this Dwarka, Aho Bata, Swar Yashash Tiraskari, Kushastali, Punya Yasho Bhuvaha. This Dwarka has defeated the glories of heavenly planets. And then this Dwarka made this earthly planet as a celebrity. Why? Swapatim. This word is very important. Swapatim. Swapatim means the master of Atma of all living entities. The soul of all living entities. Prabhupada translated. Swapatim. You know, Prabhupada writes in the purport. So he is actually, they are all attracted. You know, Pashanti Nityam Anugrahe Stitam. You know, they were always looking at Krishna's face. Nityam Nirikshamananam Yadyapi Dwaraka Kasham Na Vitrupyantihi Drushaha Shriya Damangam Achyutam. Said every day, even though they are seeing Krishna, you know, Na Vitrupyanti, they are not satisfied. They want to see Krishna more and more. You know, Dwarkavasis. Like that. Then Prabhupada writes, Krishna would look at them with a smiling glance. You know, with smiling glance. Then Prabhupada writes, in the entire world, you know, the heavenly planets are there, Brahmaloka is there, and everything is there. All of them are defeated in front of the glories of Dwaraka, Mathura, and Vrindavan. And these three places are most important. And then devotees who are aspiring to get Krishna, they should try to live in these places. You know, they will definitely get Krishna. So Prabhupada writes that Swapatim, you know, Swapatim means soul of all living entities. Swapatim, because he is the soul of all living entities, Krishna wants all of us to come back to him and attain our Swarupa and engage with him in his eternal pastimes. Then Prabhupada writes that just simply by knowing that Krishna's pastimes and Janma are eternal, transcendental, one gets liberation. What to speak of those people who are associating with Krishna? Then Prabhupada writes, those at Krishna at whom he passed on smiling glance. You know, they have attained their Swarupa. Right? So we should always, you know, pray to Radharasbihari to look at us and give a smiling glance. Then, you know, that day our life will become perfect. Right? So it is like in 1996 when the Siddharth Maharaj, he was asking me to come for dressing and all. I was hesitating because I have Seva in BI and all. Then they have problems, so he was asking me. Because for some time I came and then I stopped. Then I was reading some quotes by Prabhupada. Then in that quote, Prabhupada wrote saying that you keep on dressing Krishna. right? One day Krishna will smile. That day your life will become perfect. Then I said, let me try. That's why so many years I've dressed. So that smiling glance, Prabhupada is saying, Krishna wants us more than we want to, attain our Swarupa and serve him. Right? Serve him. Then, uh, in the next verse, they are saying, Nunam vratasnana hute dineshwaraha samarchitaya yadyasya gruhita panibihi pibanti yaha vrajas adramritam muhur vrajastriya sam muhur yadashayaha. So they are the ladies of Astinapur, they are glorifying the good fortune of the goddess of these queens of Dwaraka. Said that then Nunam Baldev, utao. There is a saying, ब्रह्मचारी नहीं सोया, गृहस्थ नहीं रोया, जीवन में मजा क्या है? Like that. So he's saying that brahmachari means eating and sleeping, and grahastha means maintaining and defending. Like that. अरे भागवतम क्लास में मत सो कम से कम. So Nunam means in the previous life. Vrata, what vratas they might have performed, right? What vratas they must have performed. Then Nunam Vrata Snana, what kind of bathing, which, kshetras they have taken bath. Nunam Vrata Snana. Huta, what kind of, sacrifices they have performed. Yeah? Then what kind of worship they have done. Samarchaya. That Grihut Panibihi, Krishna accepted their Pani Grahana. He did Pani Grahana. He accepted their hands. Then, Pibanti, aha, Sakhi. Oh, Sakhi, every day they are drinking the Adharamrit of Krishna. Adharamrit Muhu. Again and again, they are drinking the Adharamrit. Then, this Vrajastriya, Samamuhur, simply by expecting to get that kind of, kissing from Krishna, the Vrajagopis, they would faint. They would faint. So Prabhupada writes, whatever chittasya suddhi karma, kritagnata nivarana. So Prabhupada writes in the purport of this verse, saying that the whatever vratas and all we perform, they are not end in themselves. They should actually lead us to purification of the heart. In such purity, it should lead us that we will attain Swarupa. That is the perfection of. So Prabhupada writes in 9th Canto Bhagavatam, devotees should not perform austerities and penances. So what austerities Ambarish Maharaj performed? Devotional austerities. Prabhupada writes about Brahmaji also. Brahmaji performed austerities for 1000 years. What austerities? Prabhupada said, he did not do all this tapasya, vipasya and all. Naak band karke, om, right? He did, Prabhupada said, devotional austerity. Prabhupada writes, what are devotional austerities? Attending, Prabhupada writes, attending Mangala arati, raising the deities, then cleaning the temple, dressing the deities, and then offering bhoga to the deity, then doing sankirtan, and then the greatest austerity we can perform is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And then, according to Ramanujacharya, tapa alochanena, the perfection of austerity is, he says, that do research. You do research and gather information and understand how Krishna's Janma and Krishna's Karma are transcendental. This is called tapas. Jnana tapas. That is the highest tapasya. There is no need for devotees. Prabhupada writes, renunciation and austerities. Uh, they will make you hard at heart, and it is difficult to get Krishna prema if your heart becomes hard by performing severe austerities and penance. Right? The whatever little austerity that Prabhupada gave us, that is enough. Attending Mangala arati, chanting 16 rounds without falling asleep. Right? 16 good rounds. That is our austerity. That's it. We don't have to do all this Dandavat Parikrama. Right? Yantra Parikrama also use. Those who cannot walk, they can do Yantra Parikrama also. One Brahmana is saying, I am very lazy to do Govardhan Parikrama. If anybody wants to do, I will give blessings. I also think like that only. Abhi walking band ho gaya. So there is no need, all these things. So, Nunam Vratasnana Hute Dineshwara, Prabhupada writes, there are two kinds of Swakiya and then Parakiya. So the Dwaraka, queens of Dwaraka, they are Swakiya. The gopis of Vrindavan, Parakiya. And then both are transcendental. Otherwise, a Paramahamsa Chudamani like Sukadeva Goswami, why would he discuss all these pastimes? Right? Why would he discuss like that? So, Prabhupada writes in the purport that, all those people who are performing all these vratas. So, what vrata? Ekadasi vrata. What snana? Taking bath in Yamuna, taking bath in Radhakund, taking bath in, recently we went to Balaji, Venkateshwar. Swami Pushkarini Snanam, it is said in the scriptures, Swami Pushkarini Snanam, Ekadasi Vrata Palanam, and in Satpurusha Pada Sevanam. These three are durlabh. Right? Many people they go, but they don't take bath. But Swami Pushkarini is not made by man. It's not man-made. When Lord Venkateshwara came, he brought Viraja river. He brought Viraja river. That is Swami Pushkarini. Snanam. So they keep it very clean, spotlessly clean. So we can go and take bath and little bit, enjoy also waters like that. Radhakunda also, Shamkund, very respectfully, Yamuna, Ganga, especially Gangotri and all. So this is called Nunam Vrata Snana. Right? And then Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. What is the best yajna? Right? What is your name? Why Krishna says Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi? Of all yajnas I am Japa. So I will tell you. In the commentary it is written that in order to perform all these sacrifices, you need ingredients, then pure brahmanas, learning the chanting of the mantras, right? But for japa yajna, for doing japa yajna, only two things are required. Tongue and the ears. Simply chant. Very simplest and easiest way to perform. So Krishna is very kind, all easier. For devotees, that is why Vishwanath Chakravarti writes, in order to get devotional service, it's very, very difficult. But performing devotional service is very easy. To come to this point of performing devotional service, very difficult. But once you come to this, you understand, you read Prabhupada books, right? Understand, Prabhupada said, just accept even blindly also Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You will go back to Godhead. It is so simple. Just accept. So many, theories, so many, why everybody asks, if when we say Krishna is the Supreme Personality, why not Lord Shiva? May I ask, what, you are advocate for Lord Shiva or what? He can look after himself. That is envy, Why not Lord Shiva? Why not Ganapati? Right? Like that. So, why not only Krishna? Right? Why not only Krishna? Just one sentence is enough. Right? Like many times I told, what it means to tell the truth? What is speaking truth? 3 sentences. What, Lalikant? You remember? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am his eternal servant. Boliye. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am his eternal servant. I can attain him by simply chanting Hare Krishna. This is called speaking the truth. What is self-realization? You know? Huh? What is self-realization, you know? Huh? Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, in 87th chapter, that self-realization means Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and He is the only worshipable Lord. I am His eternal servant. Bolo, what is self-realization? And He is the only worshipable Lord, and then I am His. If you know this, you are a self-realized soul. So simple, right? That is why Prabhupada said, very, Prabhupada, somebody told Prabhupada, you make everything look very easy, very simple. Then Prabhupada said, because it is simple. What is simple? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. I am His eternal servant. That's it. There is no need to have any other knowledge. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So Prabhupada writes that all this chanting, doing all these vratas and all, one should actually come to this stage of attaining Swarupa, and then Krishna will award, Krishna wants us, for someone to be in Shantrupa, so someone to be a servant, someone to be, Sakha, somebody to be a parent, and then somebody to be his lover, either Swakiya or Parakiya. Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that this is the highest. Even though every devotee in their stage is happy and then they experience bliss, but compared to other stages, to be a conjugal lover of Krishna, one experienced the greatest happiness and bliss. Right? Mahaprabhu came to give that. Like that. So Prabhupada writes that all of us who are aspiring to become wife of Krishna are a girlfriend of Krishna. By performing all these vratas and all, Krishna will reward us. Krishna will reward us. So we should explain to the people that how we can attain our perfection by performing all these devotional activities. So that should, Prabhupada says, there should be a goal, not that simply chant and then what is your goal? I say time pass, taking prasad. Okay, that is also nice, taking prasad also. But we should have that aspiration that I want to become a lover of Krishna. Like that. Swarupa, some Swarupa we have, Krishna will reward that. That also we can change by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So that is why this lady, this princess Satya, she is saying that all these demigods, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi Devi and all, they take the dust of lotus feet of Krishna on their heads. Right? For what? Yasyangri pankajaraja snapnam mahanto vanchanti umapatir ivatma tamopahatye yarhi ambujaksha nalabeta bhavat prasada jahyam ashu vratakrushan sata janmi bir shat. Said Rukmini is saying that Yasyangri pankajaraja snapnam mahanto said even Lord Shiva, Umapati, desires to get the dust of Krishna's lotus feet and keep on his head. For what? Ivatma tamopahatyai. In order to conquer tamogun. In order to conquer tamogun. My dear Krishna, yarihi ambujaksha na labeta bhavat prasada. If I don't get your mercy, jahyam ashu, I will give up my life. For what? Hundreds of lifetimes. Right? Hundreds of lifetimes. Why? Because I will not marry anyone else except you. Right? So Rukmini also was saying this. Except you, I will not. I will not marry anybody else. Like that. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Krishna asked himself, why are you so attached to me? Oh, Aravindanetra, she says, because of your beautiful eyes, lotus eyes. Aravindanetra, Yarihi Ambujaksha. So, because of your lotus eyes, I heard about so much. I always meditate, so I am so attracted. Without you, I will not marry anyone else. So she is saying, even Narayana also comes and asks me to marry, I will reject. Even Brahma comes and asks me to marry, I will reject. What to speak of this rascal, Damagosh Sutta, Shishupal, I will not marry except. So Prabhupada says, this is Rukmini Devi, she is our ideal. This should be our guide. We should have determination like Rukmini Devi. Right? Prabhupada writes in Krishna book that when Rukmini Devi, when she was seeing, his brother being humiliated, she kept quiet. She didn't say anything to Krishna because she is afraid that, Krishna may reject her if she supports her brother. And then she remained silent when during Aniruddha's marriage, Balaram killed Rukmi. She kept quiet that time also. She didn't fight. अरे मेरा मायके में आके ऐसा कर मेरा भाई को मार दिया ऐसा वैसा. Later on, Krishna told Rukmini, my dear Rukmini, your silence during these two incidents has conquered me. I became conquered by you, because that's why Prabhupada said, better to remain silent instead of protesting. Right? Devotees. Maunena kalau nasti. Nasti jagruto bhayam, nasti durbhiksham, japato nasti patakam. Right? So there is this famous verse is there from Harivamsh Puran that by remaining silent we can avoid fights. Right? And then when one remains awakened in Krishna, in self-realization, one can give up fear. Krishito nasti durbhiksham. By working hard, we will never become remain hungry. And then by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can actually destroy all the sins. Jabato nasti patakam. Right? Narad Muni also says, when husband and wife, when they have to fight, either husband or wife, in Padma Purana, he was actually giving guidance to brahmachari, giving grahastha principles to what is his name? That Sukanya, he got married. Astavakra, Chavan Muni. So Chavan Muni, he was giving grahastha principles, how to lead a grahastha life. One principle he said, when there is a chance of being fighting, arguing and all, you should chant Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Remain. If husband is shouting Hari Bol, Hari Bol bolnega. If the wife is shouting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So if you give reply, then the fight will increase. Like that. So it is because all these princes, they have performed all these austerities and penances, and they have a desire to get the dust of Krishna's lotus feet on their heads. That is why Krishna blessed them. Right? Krishna blessed them. Like that. So the Krishna's dust of lotus feet of the Lord Ramchandra, the dust of lotus feet of Krishna are very, very powerful. Right? That's why Parikshit Maharaj was surprised that how can, when Maharaj Priyavrata, he created another son, because all of you know, 5th Canto Bhagavatam, 1st chapter you read, he created another son, and then he is the one who created all these 7 oceans. So how he could do that? That, he could create another son. Then Sukadeva Goswami says, what is so surprising? Naivam vida purushakara purushottamasya urukramasya. Right? So, Pumsham yadangri rajaha jitasad gunanam. So, what to speak of, what is this simple, some performing some great material activity. This Maharaj, somebody who gets the dust of lotus feet of Krishna on their head, they can actually conquer Jita Sadgunana. How many of you know what are the 6 waves of material existence? Shok, Moha, hunger and thirst, old age and death, and then Shok and Moha. These are the 6 waves of. So anybody, Urukramasya, Naivamvada Purushakara, Urukramasya, anybody who gets the dust of lotus feet of Krishna, they can conquer. Chitram Viruda Vitura Vidaya. He says that what to speak, Sakrit Adadita, what to speak of this, even a Sudra, a person born in outside this Varnashrama, they can also, even once if they chant, Yan Namadeyam Jahati Bandhan, simply by chanting the names of Krishna, they can also conquer this material existence. So what's the big deal like that, right? I will narrate one very interesting pastime. There is one great Acharya by name Vedanta Desika. So he wrote a book called Poems, Paduka Sahasram. He very beautifully narrated one pastime that, all of you know, when Bharat Maharaj, he went to Lord Ramchandra. Lord Ramchandra, then he said, okay, all this conversation I don't want to tell now. So Lord Ramchandra said, give them. Means Paduka. So Vedanta Desika says, Paduka is actually female word. Female, Srilinga. So before marrying Sita, Ramchandra is already married to Paduka Devi. That is why he wanted to carry Paduka Devi with him. And then he was telling Sita Devi, you stay back. Because when this says, because he found Sita Devi a little bit argumentative. One may aayegi, argument karegi, but Paduka very, very humble. Like that. Then Lakshmana brought Paduka, keeping them on his head. And then he kept, then he said, keep them down, Ramchandra said. Then Ramchandra wore that Paduka. Early in the morning, what we do every day? We charge the mobile, right? Our Vishnu Chakra mobile. Like that, it seems he has to do all this pastime for 14 years, that he got charged, it seems, by keeping his feet on Paduka. Then Bharat Maharaj, he took Paduka on his head. Right? On his head. Then later on, when he went to Nandigram, Shatrughna, he was keeping, this chatra, umbrella. You know why this happened? Vedanta this guy is explained. Once Lord Vishnu is sleeping in his Vaikuntha on a snake bed. Then there is an SOS call from a devotee like Gajendra, please save me, please save me. Then he forgot to carry Shankachakra Gada Padma. Then somebody, then he was Garuda also. He was running, and then he said, Garuda, come. Then with a run, he sat on the Garuda. Then he went to rescue the devotee, like that. Meanwhile, what happened? One maidservant in Vaikuntha, she was cleaning Vaikuntha, and then she took the Paduka and then kept them on the head of, you see, right? We see on the snake, Shankar, Anantasesha, right? So Vishnu left Shankachakra Gada Padma and then already on the Anantasesh, they were all. So Shankar, this Anantasesh and this Shankachakra Gada Padma and all, they were, looking at Paduka, dekho iska sahas. So that maidservant, she cleaned the jadu pocha maar diya, aur wapas she forgot to keep them in the shelf. So that is why Paduka was kept on the head of, Anantasesh. So Anantasesh, Shankachakra Gada Padma, just look at the sahas of this, Paduka. They are sitting on my head. And then the Shankachakra, they are staying along with me. Like that. What is this? Like that. So Paduka Devi ko gussa aaya bolte. She felt very bad. As soon as Lord Vishnu came back after the rescue operation, he said, I want to speak to you alone, personally. एकांत में बात करना चाहती हूँ. Vishnu said, क्या हो गया? See, then she started crying. These people, are looking at me, and then they are doing parihas. That, उसका सिर चढ़ के बैठ गया ऐसा वैसा. मेरे को कोई value नहीं है. Then he said, okay, I will teach them a lesson. They will give you proper respect. That is why. Who is Lakshman? Anand says Shankarshana. So he was keeping the Paduka on his head. Right? Then who is, according to Prabhupada writes, according to some kalpas, Shanka and Chakra, they come as Bharata and Shatrughna. Chakra is Bharat, and then Shanka is Shatrughna. So they were all laughing, na, three. So Bharat Maharaj, what he did? He carried on his head. That is Chakra. And then Shanka, what he did? Shatrughna. Chatra. Then हर दिन सरयू नदी का पानी लाता था और अभिषेक करता था. So that is the greatness of getting the dust of lotus feet of Lord Ramchandra or Vishnu or Krishna, whatever. That is, so Shankarshana, Pradyumna, this Shankachakra Gada Padma, they all put you on the on their head. That is so Vedanta Discourse says there is a scam during the time of Ramchandra's reign, right? That Dobi told that aisa hua karke. But after Darshan Maharaj, who ruled the kingdom? Paduka. Paduka, right? So the Vedanta Discourse says during the Paduka's reign, there is no scam only. Best. He was teasing Lord Ramchandra. That. Lord Ramchandra wanted a path. He wanted a way. So he appealed to the government. Samudra. Then I think that time that was a custom. I think you have to do some 3 days fasting or something. So on the bank of ocean, on the darba grass, he was fasting for 3 days. Just like government, they are adamant, right? So this Samudra also was adamant. He was not responding. Then Ramchandra said, now everybody, the whole dunya saw my Shant Roop. Now they will see my Kop Roop. When Rama becomes angry, what will happen? Right? Then Lord Ramchandra, hey Lakshman, mera Dhanush baan leke aao. And he brought Dhanush. So Ramchandra was very angry. He said, what will I do with Dhanush? Where is the baan? Then Lakshman brought a very small baan. Hey Lakshman, what are you doing? What is this? Playing with me. Bring my, baan. He brought a little bit bigger one. Then he became more angry. He said, Lakshman, what are you doing? Why you are disobeying my orders? Bring my real, baan. Then Lakshman told, Ramchandra's ears, purposefully I am not bringing. So Ramchandra said, why? See, all till now you are unconquerable, invincible. But now if you want to fight with Samudra, you will be defeated. That is my fear. So Ramchandra said, what nonsense you are talking? What nonsense you are talking? He said, no, there is a secret. He said, what? What Bharat Maharaj does every day in Nandigram? He said, what? He brings Sarayu river and does Abhishek of Paduka every day. And then he drinks Charanamrit of Paduka. Then whatever is remaining, they put it back in the Sarayu river. Then all the rivers, they go and merge with the ocean. Right? Ocean. So this ocean became very powerful. Ocean became very powerful because of receiving Abhishek Jal of Paduka Devi. So there is a chance that you may be defeated. इसलिए थोड़ा compromise कर लेना. Very the poet, very beautiful. So like that. Um, so like that, this is the power of receiving the dust of lotus feet of Krishna or Vishnu or Lord Ramchandra. That Paduka becomes ruler and like that. So that is where this Satya is saying that I will, if I get the dust of lotus feet of Krishna, maybe my desire to have him as my husband will be fulfilled. Like that, right? So this is the secret, how to get the dust of lotus feet of Krishna, right? Maninupura vachalam vande tat charanam vibho lalitani yadiyatani lakshmani vrajavidishu. This is a poem spoken by, written by Bilvamangal Thakur in Krishna Karnamrita, right? Maninupura vachalam, right? Maninupura vachalam vande tat charanam vibho lalitani yadiyatani lakshmani vrajavidishu. So beautiful verse. Said one day Srimad Radharani, he is saying, I will offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of Krishna. Who is Vibhu? Who are Vibhu? Why? Because Krishna, one day he wanted to meet Srimad Radharani. He wanted to take only Radharani and all the gopis he didn't want to take. So Maninupur Vachalam, he is walking, and then he is wearing a diamond studded, pearl studded, beautiful Nupura. And then that Nupura, he is making a very beautiful tingling sound. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the purport writes that Bilvamangal Thakur entered Vrindavan pastimes in his bhava. Then he could hear the sound, beautiful sound of tinkling of ankle bells of Krishna. Then he saw Krishna, Radharani silently going, and then Krishna, without the knowledge of all the Sahasrakoti gopis, he was walking behind Srimati Radharani. And then Bilvamangal Thakur also was watching, going. That is Vibho, because he's got his lotus feet are so powerful that Krishna could walk, without making sounds to other gopis, only to Srimati Radharani. But somehow Bilvamangal Thakur got a chance. Then he says, then Lalitani Yadiyatani, Vrajabhumi received the wonderful lotus footprints of Krishna. Everywhere he was seeing the lotus footprints of Krishna. Right? Then he was actually became very blissful seeing like that. So actually Prabhupada writes, even now, that is why when we go to Ramandreti, we roll in the dust, right? To get some dust. Right? Yamuna, everywhere Krishna left his lotus footprints. In Kamyavan there is lotus footprints. In Govardhan, Krishna's lotus footprints are there. Everywhere, Vraj. So we should actually give up our shame and roll in the ground of Ramandreti. Right? Take waters from Yamuna and Radhakund and Shamkund. Drink with great respect. Then pray to Prabhupada. Right? Like Prabhupada, Prabhupada was saying in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that one should follow the Vrajavasi's footsteps. Then one devotee asked Prabhupada, which Vrajavasi footsteps we should follow? Prabhupada said, I am not a Vrajavasi. So we should follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada and desire to, like Bilvamangal Thakur, in the purport says, hear the tinkling ankle bells sound of Krishna walking in the Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Thank you very much. Any questions? I'm not finishing so many verses. Somebody else will read because I don't like to read. Anybody? Any questions, comments?
हरे कृष्ण। जब गोपियों को यमुना पार करनी थी तो कृष्ण ने उनको बताया कि यमुना को बताए कि कृष्ण बाल ब्रह्मचारी है और रास्ता देगी। जब ऐसे बोला तब यमुना ने रास्ता दिया और वो उस पार गई और वहाँ दुर्वासा ऋषि को भोजन कराई, सब अच्छा से हुआ। फिर वो बोले हमको अभी वापस जाना है। तो दुर्वासा जी बोले आप कैसे आई थी? बोले कृष्ण ब्रह्मचारी है ऐसा बोला तो यमुना रास्ता दी। अभी उनको बोलो कि दुर्वासा ऋषि निराहारी है, कुछ खाया नहीं। जैसे बोला तो वापस यमुना ने गोपियों का रास्ता दिया और वापस यमुना उन्होंने पार की। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. This was narrated by Mukund Prabhu, that's why I didn't narrate fully. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Actually, I'm daring to comment today. I'm daring, साहस कर रहा हूँ comment करने के लिए. Actually, it is like in the sweet rice, if somebody is asking any questions in the katha, like what you did, it is like a sand in the sweet rice. I feel. So it's so nicely you narrated the pastimes. Joyfully you are experiencing, and audience also are living in that experience. Thank you very much, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
His Grace Ramarup Prabhu ki jai.